These back issues are so hot, you're going to need the fire marshal's permission just to add them to your collection. If you want to know what they are, stay tuned. We'll be right back. What's up, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of, Keep It Comics. As always, I am the host, C3. Today, I want to thank everybody for stopping by, checking out the channel. I really appreciate the love and support you gave that last video that I dropped. It was something new, it was something different, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot from it, but it seemed to have done really well on YouTube. So I really appreciate you guys for the love and support you gave that video. And I'll try to do a lot more videos like that in the near future. Those videos that consist of going back and giving us a little update on how the comic books that we purchased on New Comic Book Day are doing at the end of about a week or so. All right? So, welcome back. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If this is your first time stopping by, checking out the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to dive right on in. I've got 10 hot comic books that are trending on the secondary market. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so every time I do a video, you wonderful people will get that notification. Now, without further ado, let's get it. The first book I want to talk about is published by DC. This title is coming in at number 10, and I'm talking about Harley Quinn, issue number 1. Yes, we have a Harley Quinn book on the list, ladies and gentlemen. The key factor to this book is that it is not only a low print run, but it is in demand right now, but also it's the first time that the Joker breaks up with Harley Quinn. All right? So we know that that's a big thing right now, considering how we have these two new females that is in the Joker's life right now, right? So this may play a major part in upcoming movies. So it's trending on the secondary market. Let's talk numbers, all right? Now, this book was released on October 11th of 2000. The last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on April 15, 2020, where it sold for $12.50. Yes, I like that. Not a lot of money for this book, but it is making waves. So it is something that you might want to keep your eye on. Very affordable, a book that I would definitely love to have in my collection, and I'm looking to get my hands on a copy of this book, so I want to make sure that I'm sharing this information with the community. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 3.99%, right? Which is not a lot of gains, but it is a significant gain, right? It is moving, so it is a book that you want to keep your eye out on. And I want to try to get my hands on it before that price gets higher. So I thought I'd share this with you guys. The average sale for a graded copy of this book in a 9.8 is $188, which even for the 9.8, that is not bad. Beautiful story, excellent cover art. You can't go wrong with that. And not to mention, Harley Quinn fans, we love Harley. We do. We love our Harley Quinn, man. She's a work of art. She's a piece of work. Absolutely. The average sale for a raw copy in this book is $49.62. There has been 214 graded copies that have sold so far, and 504 raw copies of this book that have sold, giving us a total of 718 copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market. Yes, so you can see that this book has legs, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the 3.99% may not seem like a lot, but when you total up the numbers, you can see that these books are actually doing some movement. All right? The highest known sale in this book was for CGC 9.9, where that book sold for $299.99 on the secondary market. And that sale was made back in March 6th of 2022. Where the fair market value has this book resting at $188 for the most common grade of 9.8. All right? So if you're interested in this book, definitely keep your eye on it. Next up, coming in at number 9. This book is published by Marvel's, ladies and gentlemen, by Marvel. It's Silver Age goodness, so I had to bring this to your attention. The title of this book is Avengers, issue number 52. Yes, and you guys know me. You know I love that yellow cover. Yes, absolutely. But that's not the only reason I'm looking to add this to my collection. All right, I'll share with you that main reason. The reason I'm looking to add this to my collection is it is the first appearance of the Grim Reaper, and it's the first time Black Panther joins the Avengers. Yes. So I want to add that to my collection when Black Panther becomes an Avenger. All right. So let's talk numbers. This book was released on May 1st, 1968. And the last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on April 15th, 2022, where it sold for $38.99 for that raw copy. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 14.67%. Yes. Yes, so it's doing very well on the secondary market. The average sale for a graded copy in this book in a 9.6 was $1,140. Okay, where the average sale for a raw copy in this book goes for roughly about $49.42, anywhere between $49 to about $55. All right. There has been 91 graded copies of this book that have sold, and there has been 464 raw copies of this book that have changed hands on the secondary market, giving us a grand total of 555 copies that have moved on the secondary market from the beginning of the year to now. Yes, and that's not bad. I think that's pretty significant gains. I think that's a lot of movement we got going on with this book, which shows that the community still believes in this book and they've got plans for this book. I myself would like to have a copy of this in the collection. All right. So the highest known sale for CGC 9.8 in this book is $3,840 for CGC 9.8. Not bad at all. Now, on April, and that sale actually took place on April 9th of 2022. Fair market value has this book resting at $1,140, and that is for that most common grade of the 9.6. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Avengers issue number 52. Get yourself one. Absolutely. Moving right along. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, good vibes only. All right, so coming in at number 8, we have a book that is published by Marvel. The title of this book is Miss Marvel, issue number 5. Yeah, there's a lot going on with this book, ladies and gentlemen, and I think it is because of the announcement of the series that's going to be debuting on Disney Plus. The key factors to this book is that it is a cameo appearance of the inventor, but it is also the origin of Miss Marvel and where the costume comes from. Yes, I myself am a big fan of Miss Marvel, and I want to make sure that I can get my hands on this before the price gets a little out of reach, right? I always like to try to buy things, and I always try to encourage this. I always try to get my comic books from ground level, right, before they start skyrocketing. And I like to grab the books that nobody's talking about, all right? So here's one that's kind of sliding just under the radar. I want to bring this to your attention. Let's talk stats. This book was released on June 18th, 2014, and the last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on April 15th of 2022. That book sold for $25. Now, this book is currently trending upward at 15.56%. Significant movement. I like it, right? Nice steady movement on this book. The average sale for a graded CGC 9.8 is $396, where the average sale for a raw copy of this book is roughly about $24, right? And that's not bad at all. I may try to go after the 9.8. It depends on what I'm seeing on the secondary market. I do like to inspect my books. I like to have conversations with the people that are selling them to see if they're, I want to make sure that there is no damage or I like to call them O-rings on the plastic, on the casings and everything. But I would definitely like to try to get my hands on a 9.8 in this book, because being a fan is good, but also I like the fact that I can add this Miss Marvel 9.8 to my collection, to the things that I already have in the back. And I'm looking forward to the little streaming service that's going to be having her show on Disney Plus. So it's a win-win for me if I can get my hands on this book. Now, either way, even if I have to, I can't find what I need in that 9.8, like, and if a person can't guarantee me that there's no damage on the cases and things of that nature, if I go for the raw copy of the book, I will do my due diligence to try to get my hands on the best copy I can for not a lot of money, and then maybe later on it can be sent in to get graded. All right. So there has been 8 graded copies of this book that have changed hands so far, and 170 raw copies of this book that have changed hands, giving us a total of 170 copies of this book that's moving on the secondary market, where the highest known sale for the CGC 9.8 is $395.78. And that sale took place back on March 27th of 2022. Fair market value has this book resting at $396, and that is for the most common grade of the 9.8. For those of you who are fans of Ms. Marvel, this book is ripe for the picking. Super hot right now. Get it before it gets any hotter. I can't encourage you enough. Always try to get them, if you can, get them when the prices are somewhat low key. All right? Coming in at number 7, we have another modern book, and this too is also published by Marvel. And this book is New Avengers issue number 11. Yes, I love this cover. This cover is hard body. I've always been a fan of this cover. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Ronin, Echo. Release date of this book was on September 28th, 2005. The last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on April 15th, 2022, where that book sold for $20, ladies and gentlemen. I like that. I like when I can get a book like this at such a low cost. I love how Hawkeye was being portrayed in the Avengers when his family got caught up in the snap and how he just lost it with Ballistic. I saw the Ronin costume. I saw what Ronin is capable of. I enjoyed it, right? So this is definitely a comic that I would like to add to my collection. I'm happy that it's not going to cost me a lot of money, and I wanted to share that with you guys in the community. Definitely, if you're interested in getting your hands on this book, now's a great time to do that, right? Get your hands on a nice copy. Check out the rest of these numbers. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 26.73%. And the average sale for a CGC 9.8 is $123. Yes, I like that. $123. The average sale for a raw copy of this book will run you anywhere between $12 and about $20. Anywhere between $12.50, $12.99, and about $20. You add that shipping and handling there, give or take, right? But still, not bad at all. And again, a character that's worthy of keeping an eye on, because you never know where they're going to go with this character in the MCU. There's been 202 graded copies of this book that have sold so far, followed by 1,216 raw copies of this book that has changed hands, which giving us a grand total of 1,418 copies of this book that continues to have movement on the secondary market. The highest known sale for the CGC 9.8 in this book is $380. And that sale itself took place back on December 8th of 2018. So when I see something like that, if it sold for $380 back in 2018, I'm thinking like, yo, that 123 sounds real good for me. That's perfect. And that shows that there's room for growth with this book, right? So I grab it, tuck it away. It may increase in value, as well as just having a beautiful piece of artwork and history in my collection, right? So the fair market value has this book resting at $123 for the most common grade of the CGC 9.8. All right? Number 7, ladies and gentlemen, Avengers issue number 11. Excuse me. I just came back inside from walking the dog. and it's raining outside, man. I got on rain and I got soaking wet. I know you guys like, yo, he had on a camouflage hoodie, didn't he? Yeah, I had to switch that up, man, because it got all soaking wet. Yeah, raining cats and dogs, literally. All right, coming in at number 6, ladies and gentlemen, we got another modern comic book that is also published by Marvel. The title of this book is Thor, issue number 20. And I'm talking about the 1 in 25 second print, the first appearance of the God of Hammers. Yeah, I know, everybody, I know a lot of people dislikes this book. A lot of people dislike this book. And because they say, you know, Donny Cates always kills off these characters. But at the end of the day, whatever character Donny Cates kills off has nothing to do with how the comic book community takes to that character, and they still want that book in their collection. So Donny Cates can kill off as many characters as he wants, but if the comic book community wants that book, then this is what you get. And trust me, numbers don't lie. Check it out. This book was released on June 5th, 2022. The last recorded sale of a raw copy of this book was on April 5th of 2022, where that book sold for $46. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 28.31%, right? 28.31%, even though Donny Cates kills off the character. It's all good, right? The average sale for a graded copy of this book was $250, while the raw sale for the average price for the raw sale of this book was about $45.38. There's been one graded copy of this book that have sold so far, and then there has been 72 raw copies that have changed hands, giving us a total of 73 copies that have changed hands on the secondary market. Now, I know that CGC 9.8 that sold for $250 doesn't seem like a lot, but in my opinion, this is just my opinion, the comic book collector pays for what they want. So even if someone is not interested in that particular book, or they don't deem it worthy of being in their collection, there's always someone who does, right? Because you don't have to like what I like. You don't have to collect what I collect, but collect what you like, right? Because that's all that matters. And that's what I see when we talk about a book like this. May not be something that, you know, everybody's about, but there's somebody out there that is enjoying that run, that believes in that character and says, yo, I want that in my collection. Let me get that. Yeah. I mean, it's just as simple as that. The comic book collector pays for what they want, and it doesn't matter what it costs. If they want it, they're going to buy it, right? So the highest known sale for a CGC 9.8 in this book, like I said, was $250, and that was back on January 20th of 2022. The fair market value has this book resting at $250 for that 9.8. That's the fair market value at this current moment, right? And listen, you can't knock Donny Cates for what he do. He's a pretty decent writer, and he knows how to create a story that engages the reader, and also give a little prize along the way to make the collector want that particular run. So he knows how to write, he knows how to pace the book, and he knows how to add little Easter eggs in there to make you want to buy the book, you know? So can't knock him. And I actually think I might have, I know I don't have the 1 in 25, but I do have the first appearance. I have the first print, the first appearance, and I thought it was pretty cool. Yes, I did. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway there. Before I go any further, allow me to please stop like I always do and take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for stopping by, checking out the channel. I really appreciate everything you guys do to support this channel. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for all the encouraging comments in the comment section. I love chopping it up with you guys in that comment section. I get a kick when I read those comments, man. It really warms my heart. I appreciate each and every one of you, man. And I know I couldn't do this without you. So I really do appreciate you. I'm humbled by all the love and support that this channel has gotten thus far. All right? And if this is your first time stopping by and checking out the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. Even if you don't subscribe to the channel, may I get a like, please? I'll accept the like, that's all. Because it really helps the channel, right? And I just want to grow the channel so it can reach more people. All right? I really appreciate you guys. Okay? So, you know the drill. It's good vibes only over here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's enjoy the hobby. Back to our regularly scheduled program. All right, coming in at number 5. This book is published by Marvel. It is some Bronze Age goodness, my friends. And I'm talking about this title that is Marvel Spotlight on Werewolf by Night, issue number 4. Yes, Marvel Spotlight on Werewolf by Night, issue number 4. And the key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Darkhold. Now, remember, I told you guys, I was not really a big Moon Knight fan, but I'm guessing with what we got going on in Moon Knight right now has triggered this book to start moving again on the secondary market. Let's talk stats. This book was released on June 1st, 1972. The last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was on April 15th of 2022, where that book sold for $199.99. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 32.57% on the secondary market. A nice bit amount of gains right there. The average sale for a graded 8.5 is $631, while the average sale for a raw copy of this book is roughly about $120. I like those price points when it comes to this book. Those are both obtainable books, right? So it's just a matter of which one you want to go for. Do you want to go for the graded 8.5, or do you want to try to grab a mid to high grade in the for about $120 that if you have it clean and pressed, you could send it in and possibly get a higher grade. It's completely up to you. It's all up to you, all right? There's been 74 graded copies that have sold, and there has been 478 raw copies of this book that have changed hands so far, giving us a total of 552 copies of this book that is moving on the secondary market. And I think those are pretty decent numbers for this book. The highest known sale for a CGC 9.6 is $1,999. And I'm also anticipating that the further we get into this Moon Knight series, that 9.8 may actually surface. So I'm going to be keeping my eye out for this book. All right. And that $1,999 sale took place on November 13th of 2021. Right. So if the 9.6 went for almost $2,000 back last year, I think it's a possibility that if you can come in contact with someone that has that 9.8, you may be able to negotiate a pretty decent asking price, a pretty decent price that'll encourage the individual to allow the book to change hands. But you never know. But I think it's not what you do, it's how you do, depending on how you negotiate, right? So the fair market value has this book resting at $631 for the most common grade of the 8.5. All right? So keep your eye out for this book. Marvel Spotlight on Werewolf by Night, issue number 4. Moving right along, we're at number 4, ladies and gentlemen. We've got another Bronze Age book, and this is another DC book. I know, right? DC and Marvel. The best of both worlds. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. I like to try to balance it out the best I can. Every now and again, DC sneaks on the list. I'm happy about it. So we got a DC book, all right? And the title of this book is House of Secrets, issue number 92. First appearance of Swamp Thing. Yes. First appearance of Swamp Thing, ladies and gentlemen. This book was released on June 1st, 1971. Excellent year. Last recorded sale for this book in a raw copy was on April 11th of 2022. That book sold for $2,450. I know. This book is on the move. This is a what's the word I'm looking for? This is a grail, a definite collector's item for a lot of people, right? Swamp Thing has a very strong fan base, has a big fan base. There are a lot of people that love Swamp Thing. Even just recently in the comic book shops, I heard a lot of people asking about that Swamp Thing run. And, you know, a lot of people, they like Swamp Thing. So that's what actually made me look it up. The last recorded sale, like I said, was $2,450. Now, at the present moment, this is a book that I am just watching, right? And I just want to see what the market is going to do, because if I'm going to get my hands on a copy of this book, I am going to need this price to come down a little bit. But I am watching it, right? So I still figured I'd share these numbers with you. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 51.61%. The average sale for a CGC 7.0 is $2,100, and the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $1,745. There has been 430 graded copies of this book that have sold, and there has been 256 raw copies of this book that have sold, giving us a total of 686 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market. Where the highest known sale for a CGC 9.8 in this book whoa, is $90,000, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just saying, this book is well loved on the market. And the CGC 9.8, given the year that it came out and the time that it that has passed since then, to get this book in a 9.8 is a beautiful thing. And the asking price was $90,000, and that sale took place back in September 8th of 2021. Now, again, I myself, I can't afford the 9.8, but that doesn't mean one of you can. So that's why this book is on the list. I'm not going to put my limitations on others, but we're going to enjoy this hobby together. I'm happy for you. If you bought this book back in September last year, and you're watching this video, congratulations, man. Congratulations to you. That's a beautiful thing. Me, I might have to go after that 7-0 though. I might have to go after that 7-0 if I want to keep my place of residence. Right? And the fair market value has that book resting at $2,100 for the most common grade of the 7.0. And it's all good, man. It's all good. All right? House of Secrets, issue number 92. Get yourself one. We've made it to the top 3, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in at number 3, this is another DC book. I was very intrigued at just the cover alone of this book. I've always been a fan of this particular character. And I'm talking about Hawkman, issue number 1. I've always loved this character, right? And I'm glad to see that it's doing some movement on the secondary market. I'm glad to see that this book still has a nice, strong fan base. This book was released on July 29th, 1993. This is Hawkman. This is the return of Hawkman, and possibly a new Hawkman, right? And the last recorded sale for this book was on April 15th of 2022, where it sold for $59.99. I'm just going to call it $60. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 103.57%. Yes, I love it. I love it. Average sale for a graded CGC 9.8 is $74.99. I love that even more, because this book would look phenomenal in a CGC case, man. That gold just popping up off the page. I just love it. You know, you can't go wrong. You know how the 90s is with the gimmick covers, but this is a beautiful cover, man. I like this cover. All right, and the average sale for a raw copy is about $25.20. There's been 6 graded copies that have sold and 155 raw copies that have sold, giving us a total of 161 copies of this book that has moved on the secondary market. The highest known sale for a CGC 9.8 is $74.99. We're just going to call that 75 bucks. And that was back on July 31st of 2021. The fair market value has this book resting at $75 for the most common grade of the 9.8. This is a beautiful book, ladies and gentlemen, and if you are interested in getting your hands on this book, now may be the perfect time to do so. And you can get that 9.8. You know, here's how I see it. Gas, comic book. I'll probably get the comic book. I'll walk to work. Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. But it's a perfect opportunity to buy this comic. All right. Coming in at number 2, we have a book that is published by Marvel. We've got some Silver Age goodness now. All right. The title of this book is Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 37. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Amazing Spider-Man. The key factor to this book is it is the first appearance of Norman Osborn. And I'm anticipating with everything that's going on, with all the Spider-Men, and the last one, Spider-Man No Way Home. Whatever Norman's something, it's got to be something. All I'm saying is I don't know exactly what, so I'm not going to pretend that I do, but Norman Osborn is going to play a significant role in this next movie because something's got to happen. Something's definitely got to happen. This book was released back on June 1st, 1966. Last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was back on April 15th, 2022. That price was $196.01. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at a phenomenal 223.18%. Yeah, hold on. I'll drink to that. 223.18%. I like those gains, right? The average sale for CGC 8.5 is $1,050, while the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $134. And we know that Norman Osborn is a significant character in Peter Parker's life. So this is a book that is definitely worth having in your collection. And as I continue to build my Spider-Man run, this is a book that I'm looking to add to my PC as well, because it will definitely be incomplete without this book. So I have to have it. So I'm watching this one on the secondary market. There's a strong possibility that I will go after a raw copy, but I have to find one that I think is clean enough for me to add to my collection. There has been 187 graded copies of this book that have sold, and there has been 486 raw copies of this book that have sold, giving us a total of 673 copies of this book that have changed hands so far. The highest known sale is for CGC 9.4. And this book, and that 9.4 sold for $8,644, ladies and gentlemen, in a 9.4. So even if I can get, a decent low to mid grade for about 150, 160 bucks, if I can cross that mid to high grade, maybe for that in that $200 range, I'll probably take a chance at that also. But I myself, that 9.4 eludes me right now, but maybe one day in the future. But for now, I think I'll be going after that raw copy. That book that sold for $8,644, that sale took place on March 13th of 2009. Right? So a lot of time has passed since then. There's a strong possibility. So if somebody does have this book in a higher grade, they may be willing to negotiate. All right? Now, Fair market value has this book resting at $1,050 for the most common grade of the 8.5. So it's definitely a book worthy of me adding to my collection. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it. Coming in at number one, my number one hottest trending book on the secondary market. Silver Age Goodness. This book was published by Marvel. The title of this book is Fantastic Four, issue number 49. Yes. The key factor to this book is it is the first full appearance of Galactus. It is the second Silver Surfer appearance. And it is the first Galactus and Silver Surfer cover together. Man, that's a trifecta you don't want to miss out on, right? Now, I myself, I have a couple copies of this book, but I may be interested in trying to get a higher grade in this book. I keep telling myself you need a higher grade, C3, right? So I keep my eye on this book. And this is what this book is doing on the secondary market. The book was released on April 1st, 1966. And the last recorded sale for a raw copy of this book was back on April 13th of 2022, where that book sold for $710. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 72.48%. The average sale for a graded 4.5 is $1,227. And the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $2,790. You heard that, right? If not, I'll repeat it. The average sale for a graded copy is $1,227 in a 4.5. And the average sale for a raw copy of this book is $2,790. So, if you're looking to get a grade higher than a 4.5, you're probably going to wind up paying a little bit more than that $1,200. All right? So just keep that in mind. There's been 742 graded copies that have sold, and there's been 795 raw copies of this book that have sold, giving us a total of 1,537 copies of this book that has changed hands on the secondary market. And my guess is this book is going to continue to change hands because this book is hot as all right now. This book is on fire. Literally. Nova. All right? Check this out. The highest known sale for CGC 9.8 was made back on November 1st of 2016 when that book sold for $47,600. Yes. Yeah. Fair market value has this book resting at $1,227 for the most common grade of the 4.5. I myself, I would have to honestly say, I would like to have about a 7 or 8 in this book. Yeah. And I know it's going to cost me. I would probably have to get this book. If I got this book in the grade that I desire, I probably would have to wait on those other ones. So I'm really trying to get more bang for the buck right now. So it's a toss-up, but I'm pretty sure of what I want to do at this point. But I wanted to share this list with you guys. All right? So, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's your list. Please proceed with caution. Have fun. You know what I always say. Never jump out of the airplane without the parachute. Don't make any hasty decisions. Have fun when you're out there digging in the back issue bins, when you're on the eBay and you're looking for comic books, when you're, in the chat section, asking questions. Don't feel pressured to do anything. Make sure you're doing it with a solid, clean game plan on how to achieve your objective, right? Because the hobby should be fun. we should be enjoying the hobby. There should be no stress involved in this. All right? So, listen, I appreciate each and every one of you stopping by, checking out the channel. If this is your first time stopping by, please subscribe to the channel. I drop this type of content weekly. All right? Giving you ideas on what may be hot, showing you what's coming up on the secondary market, what's moving, what's grooving, and not for nothing, just for good old-fashioned love of the hobby, right? Just sharing information, passing along information as I dig it up for myself, all right? I got to get out of here. I'm going to go downstairs and have me something to eat, and then I'm going to shower and go to bed. But before I do, you know what I always say, don't hate, congratulate. Show some love, because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate. But no matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, when you see me, good vibes only. Always keep it comics. Peace. I'll see you guys next video. Later, Gators.